Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ladies of the PGS. I am your host, and of course, we have with us today Lorena Creole. Lorena, how are you tonight?
I am doing great, and always so happy to be here with you and with our audience.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you here, Lorena. And a lot of different things have been going on in entertainment this week, but something that came out yesterday that you and I just watched literally for the first time, I probably watched it a few moments before you did, is this Flash trailer that everybody seems to be talking about.
hmm
And we've been talking about the Flash forever. It's there's been so much about the Flash, a lot of controversy, and wondering, what on earth is going to happen with this trailer and everything that's connected to it. They certainly have kind of like it's been an emotional roller coaster with the Flash. It was maybe the craziest ride I've ever seen, where we have news here and we don't know and we think this is going to happen and then it's not going
hmm
to happen. And so, of all things, the Super Bowl comes up. And I've heard people say they were going to be excited about these commercials this year and how they're looking forward to the game. And of course, they announced they're going to do the trailer. I guess it was during halftime. Now, I couldn't watch it. And I
hmm
saw it a few minutes ago before you did. And I said, I got to ask Lorraine if she's seen this trailer and to get your opinion, just fresh out of seeing it. You literally saw it 2 minutes ago. I saw it about 10 minutes ago. Lorraine, what did you think about the Flash trailer that just came out?
Well, I thought it was very well put together. Definitely piqued my interest, especially when he drops the line of "This is the timeline in which my mother is still alive." I'm like, oh, okay, you now have my interest because that's fun. Granted, I'm not a DC head by any means at all, but I do remember that from I forget which movie it was about the Flash. So automatically it's like, okay, that's an emotional tug right there. And pretty much what would you do to stay in a timeline in which, your mother is there and not dead in your reality. So very flashy. Costume looks great. I will say that the costume looks great. The effect shots look good. I do have an issue with the whole multiverse thing. When I look at it, I keep thinking Marvel because Marvel has been harping that multiverse type of thing to the point where I'm really tired of it. But considering it's so close to his origin story about his mother, I can give that part a pass. Plus, Michael Keaton showing up as Batman.
Yeah, Lorena, I have to agree with you on everything you said. This was not, I didn't know what to expect. After everything we've gone through with this
hmm
particular, subject, everything we've gone through with this, there was a lot of distractions. We kind of like fell off off the pathway. But I feel like this trailer is so on the mark with what you would expect the Flash to be. Just even from principle alone, you mentioned, his history, his origin,
hmm
his ability to go through the different multiverses. And yes, I understand what's going on, but don't ask me which multiverse it is.
yeah.
I kind of wish they would say, "Hey, this is multiverse such and such." Oh, thank you. And we're back in this one. So I don't actually have to wonder where we are when I see Michael Keaton, and I'm sure nor do you, because we both know where that is.
right.
But going past that point, I'm not quite sure whether we're in one location or another and we're supposed to be there or not supposed to be there. However, despite the amount of action and things going on in this trailer, it
hmm
looks so good, Lorena. I mean, I'm excited about this film. And I'm not the biggest Flash fan. I'm not someone who's like, I've got to see the Flash. The Flash is
hmm
I'm not. But I want to see this film after seeing this trailer.
I would have to agree with you on that. My litmus test for a trailer is, do you sell this movie to me? Do you make me willing to part with my money? And with DC, it's like you really have to convince me to part with my money. And that's exactly what this trailer did. It got your attention, it got your interest, it left you with so many questions that it's just like I got to go see the movie, to find out. I think that maybe they might have given a little bit too much away in the trailer, but considering this is a multiverse, that could very well be like a red herring, kind of like a psych out or something,
Mm.
like that. But the trailer is slick. The trailer is extremely, extremely slick. I will definitely say this. The trailer for The Flash is definitely more interesting than the trailer for Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. I will tell you that much.
I agree, Lorena, and we are going to touch on Ant-Man and Quantumania tonight, just briefly, just like we're hitting on the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
This Flash trailer looks exciting. It looks adventurous. It looks fun. There is a lot at stake, but it feels fun. Like it feels like something amazing is happening, but it feels fun. And they made this seem like it's an adventure you want to go along with this person,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot. He doesn't necessarily feel like he's entirely in control of all this. It seems like he has this ability. I don't know if this is true, whether this is the Lord. This may not have anything to do with what the intention of the director has, but just watching it alone, it just looks like he's going on this great adventure through all of this stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
his goal is like, I want to be with my mom, who I love. And you can't fault that for anybody, Lorena.
Nope.
You can't fault that. The costume looks incredibly slick. As you said, it's
Yes, and the crackle of the electricity. That definitely sells it. It looks amazing.
it looks unbelievable. I think that some of the other things that I was not expecting about it was that there's always going to be cool gadgets in a trailer and different things,
Mm-hmm.
and these things do look actually very cool. He's wearing some kind of ring, and
Uh-huh. Yeah.
it opens, and I'm like, whoa, okay,
That was cool because I have never seen, okay, granted, I'm a DC normie. Anything I've seen of the Flash, rings kind of like persistent, right?
yes.
But here they show it like this dynamic thing we're opening up and stuff like that. I'm like, that's so daggone cool. You gotta admit that was cool.
I can see children wanting to get that ring, Lorena. And
Oh, it will be merch if it will
yes.
be merch if they're smart.
And I could see kids dressing up in Halloween, wanting to have the ring and pressing the ring. And, like you definitely could see children wanting, asking their parents to pick this up for them so they can
Mhm.
have the ring. So when they dress up for Halloween, they can dress up as the Flash because they want to be as cool as this and have something as cool looking. They're going to have costumes that have glowing parts in it. There's going to be like all this unbelievable stuff. I had a picture and I lost it somehow, but they're going to be all this sort of amazing stuff, Lorraine, that we're going to see in this film. I think it's going to be something, that I think every filmmaker intends for their film to have this type of momentum, this
Mhm.
feeling of kind of acceleration. It
Yes.
really has this different, unusual thing to it. We saw some images of people. These are not images that I did. This is just stuff that I'm pulling off of the intranet, of some of the things in there. And obviously, we're going to recognize a lot of this stuff, and it's great that we can recognize it. I'm just kind of showing it off the cuff. I didn't plan to show everything here, but honestly, Lorena, look at this cast and crew who we recognize. A lot of these people
Mhm.
from previous films. From of course, I remember that day, the first day that I went to go see Batman, 1989, in the movie theater. And here I am again, seeing Michael Keaton, as this Batman. It's
Mhm.
absolutely fascinating. I could not have anticipated this kind of reaction to this trailer. Lorena, I am excited for this. I'm excited to see a film, Lorena.
You know what? I'm going to add something else to this. Of course, I was very excited to see Ben Affleck. As far as I'm concerned, the best thing Zack Snyder ever did was convince me that Ben Affleck was Batman. Freaking love that. But what surprised me actually was seeing Sasha Kaye as Supergirl
Yes.
in a much better looking costume than for, I guess, the television show, and it looked crazy. I was like, "Wow, that looks really good." I was really shocked by that.
They show us, they throw us into, I mean, there's a lot in the trailer. There's a lot in this trailer. I'm not saying I have not memorized everything in the trailer. This is
Hmm.
not a trailer breakdown. This is more of a, oh my gosh, there's so much in this trailer.
Yeah.
And then they show her right off the, maybe not in the beginning, but there she is kind of like flying by their ship. And I'm like, she's flying next to a freaking spaceship. She's flying next to a spaceship. Like,
Hmm.
that's the coolest thing ever. Not expecting to see that. Not expecting to
No.
see any of this cool stuff that we saw in here. We recognize these characters right away, as I said. So there's the familiar right there from the bat. We understand the concept of what they're going for. Now I kind of understand it after seeing the trailer. And yes, I admit that I don't, as I've said before, I'm not quite sure where we are each single time, but
Hmm.
I get what they're going for, and it feels so cool. I was not expecting this. I'm happy we got this because it's nice to be excited about something like this. I haven't been this excited in ages.
I would have to agree with you. This is, I want to say, I haven't had a reaction to, I think, the last film trailer that I saw that I was like, okay, that was not video game related. We all know Super Mario Brothers
Yes,
takes
yes.
that crown. Had to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
this kind of hits the same kind of feels as that. As soon as I saw the trailer for that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go see this movie. I was on the fence. I really was not thinking about seeing the Flash movie, but after seeing the trailer, I was like, wow, I am. That's definitely going to have to be on my list to see.
Absolutely, Lorena. There's it's absolutely fascinating what they've done with this trailer. I think this trailer is like a 10 out of 10. I just can't even, I'm just so happy that we got something like this. I'm
Hmm.
not quite sure how or why, but I kind of understand why they didn't want to cancel this whole thing, Lorena. I get why they didn't want to, but you and I have promised us that we're not going to go into that other, elephant in the room. We're not going to talk about that. We're just going to focus on the characters and how the characters are being presented. And it's so fun and good and badass. And, Michael Keaton has not changed. He amazed me last year in the Protege,
Hmm.
or maybe it was the year before, where he's kind of like hitting, I think it's Maggie Q, hitting on Maggie Q, where they have a sex scene in the Protege. And I'm like, this man is 70 years old and he's got a sex scene. I'm like, I've got to rethink. I have to shift my timeline of age here. Michael Keaton is showing us how it's done at 70, Lorena. My God.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I just
Oh no, Michael Keaton, he's still got it. He has still got it. Make no mistake.
Oh my gosh. And I talked about this ring, and I'm going to wrap up this thing in a second, but this ring, it looked so cool what he was doing, and it was sometimes the most basic things, or a look that feels right, can give you that sense of, awe and wonder, and it really did here. I mean, I just can't even get over this, Lorena, how cool it was when he, whatever he did to the ring, and then it kind of opened, and I was like,
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I'm just so excited for this film, and in a way that I didn't think I was going to be excited. And that's okay.
Hmm.
I guess, something, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes they present us with a concept, but until we see it in the right context, it doesn't make a mark. It doesn't have that level of impact in what we need to see, and how we need to evaluate something.
Hmm.
And I can see how much they've invested in this, Lorena. They've invested so much. They put so much effort into this film. Just from the trailer alone, I am just mystified at how cool it looks. I can't wait to see it now.
It's going to be interesting. I am much more likely to check it out than I was. So hopefully it will turn out to be a good film.
I hope so too, and I think that, yeah, it's just it's so much to be honest with you, it's so much better than what I thought it was going to be just from the trailer.
Agreed.
Now, this is just
Agreed.
trailer, Lorraine, and I'm gonna be very careful with everybody. I know it's the trailer, I know it's not the actual film, but Lorraine, if
That's its job, and I hear and I mean to cut you off, but, you hear all the, "Well, you have to wait and see the film because trailer could be different from the film." Of course, the trailer's job is to get you to part with your money to get your butt in the seat. That's it. It doesn't give you a guarantee that the movie's gonna be great. It's not gonna cement in your mind that the movie's gonna suck. Its particular job is to get you to separate from your cash to see this movie. So if the trailer moves you, it's done its job.
well, it has moved me, and now I didn't wanna watch the trailer too many times because I like to be surprised, especially with something like this where there's
Yeah.
amazing things happening in
Mhm.
it. And, I think both you and I agree, there's some stuff in there I haven't ever seen before, first of all. And secondly, like when they show you the characters, you recognize it's very subtle. It's not sort of like in your face, like, ha 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 ha, like it's not like that. It's more kind of like, oh, I know who that is. Even Batman himself, when Michael Keaton is there, he's a little understated, but he has so much damn presence. It's so remarkable. It feels so good. Gosh, I love when we get something like this. And it feels good to see entertainment presented this way, what we were hoping for, what we were, wishing for. And I just, Lorena, I don't know. I'm gonna say I have a feeling this is gonna be a fantastic film. I have this feeling, I have this gut feeling that this film is amazing. And we're gonna be blown away by it. And it might be one of the best films of the year. That's how I'm feeling about it.
Well, the, box office will definitely tell when this film is released.
Yeah, thank you for bearing with me, Lorena, because I know you're like,
I'm a DC normie. I'm like, Michael Keaton is Batman.
yeah,
Before you had my curiosity, now you have my attention.
yeah. Yeah, and this is I think this is going to be something we all are going to enjoy very much. And so I just had to
Mhm.
I know initially this was not what I was going to be talking about. And Tom Jr. Jackson is like, "Have you seen the trailer? Have you seen the trailer?" I'm like, "No, I was working today's a work day." I was like, "No, no, I'm working. I can't." He's like, "You got to watch the trailer. You're going to love the trailer." And I'm like, "Okay, let me pop in the trailer." And so when I saw it, I just thought, "Yeah, this is unbelievably good." So, everybody in the chat has been talking about how the different things that the expectations that they have of it and how they are responding to it. And overwhelmingly, a lot of people are have very positive thoughts about it and are excited,
Mhm.
which is what we're supposed to be excited about a film. Now, Lorena, you were very I think honest as I feel the same way about this. My honest opinion is the exact same as yours. I didn't get this reaction for Quantumania.
No, I just I just kind of looked kind of like, "Eh, okay," which is a totally different reaction that I had for the second installment, of the film. The first one, I didn't see for a considerable amount of time because I didn't think I would be interested in it. I love Paul Rudd, but I didn't think I'd be interested. Then happened to see it and was like, "Oh, okay, let's watch, let's wait for the second one." Love the trailer for the second one. This one, hmm, I'm not really feeling the trailer.
And he was in Civil War, right, Lorena? He was in Civil War. And I liked
Yes.
him in that a lot. I really liked him in that. He was kind of a little offbeat, a little different. Maybe actually the thing that I liked about him was that he was like the man next door. And I really like that about him, and his down to earthness. And he is, over 50, hot over 50 guy who does not look 50.
Mm-mm.
He looks like he's about maybe 28 as far as I'm concerned. This man is gorgeous. He's very, very attractive. And I don't understand. Like they have Michelle Pfeiffer in Quantumania. I'm a huge fan of Michelle Pfeiffer. I
Mhm.
I think she's wonderful. But it's very similar to like what you were saying. His companion, the I don't remember who the woman is who is with Paul Rudd in Ant-Man, but some of the shots of her, I thought to myself, it wasn't as exciting. It didn't feel as exciting as what we saw with the Flash. That just seems so spectacular. I'm concerned. I do want to see Jonathan Majors. I love that man. I
Agreed, agreed. I do wanna see him. He's, an up and coming actor. He's extremely talented. He's pretty much the only, I would say, bright spot that piques my interest, about this film. It's just something about it, it just lacks the excitement and kinetic action that the Flash trailer, had. Plus, another thing to keep in mind, the trailer's kind of underwhelming considering this is supposed to be kicking off phase 5 of the MCU.
hmm hmm Yeah, this is a good point. And I think that for what it's supposed to be, this huge premiere, this giant reveal, if you will,
Mhm.
for something that we're going to be prepared for. And this is I don't know. I pulled this off the internet, guys. So whoever assembled this, thank you. I'm sorry. I just screen grabbed it for a second. Thank you for assembling or whatever you did. I keep getting alerts, and I know I turned them off, but it's not listening to me. Um, yeah, I think he's the major villain. Majors is it's very funny. I didn't mean it as a pun, but he is. He's the big villain in the story, and he's a beautiful man. Like he looks really good. Let's just hope he can have this thing where he can shift us over because I think a lot of it is also riding on his performance, Lorraine, you're right.
Mhm. A lot of it is, yes.
So, if he can at some point convince us and bring us to that point where we feel comfortable enough where we're trusting him, and then all of a sudden we realize that he cannot be trusted, and then we're terrified of him. I'm all in for that. I'm all in for being terrified of Kang. I'm all in for all of this stuff. But I need to also be convinced of the other characters. I think Paul Rudd is okay. It's the ensemble that's there that I don't know whether the chemistry is going to work the way that it worked for in the Flash, in that Flash trailer, where the
Mhm.
chemistry was through the roof, like it was off the charts. I could feel this stuff that I was experiencing, and
Mhm.
and it was just really incredible to watch. So I want Quantumania to be a success, and I want when we go to see this film, it's this week, right? I'm seeing it Thursday,
It
Lorena.
is this week. I am seeing it Thursday, and I am hoping that when it comes to Kang, they do not do to him what was done to Namor. I want to see an unapologetic villain, a villain who seems as if he's undefeatable. I want to see that. A villain with some gravitas. So that is, I would say, that is the paramount thing that has to happen in this film because without a villain that seems invincible, you don't have very much of a hero story. So we'll see what happens. I will say, and I think I saw someone in the chat say this. You saw Modoc in the trailer. I was not impressed. I
Mm.
was not I was not impressed with the way MODOK looked. Granted, some people say, "Well, it is a trailer." If you put the trailer out, that trailer should be knocking out home runs every couple seconds, just like The Flash. It should not even give you, room to breathe. I saw MODOK and I'm just like, "That's him? Really?" And I am a Marvel head, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm like, "I hope that looks better." But I just wasn't impressed with that. I just do not get the same energy with this. It's more like I'm gonna go see it anyway, but it's kind of like with a heavy heart that I'm going to see it.
Well, one thing that I've noticed, or at least for me, is that the Flash trailer seems sexier than the Quantumania one does. Like, there should be some kind of sex appeal. in the story. I'm not saying that it has to be, like full TNA and, bulges and
Mhm.
stuff, like what we were seeing in JoJo's or those, the Pillar Men. I'm not saying we have to see that, but goodness gracious, wouldn't it be like the Pillar Men? Because we're talking about some of the most incredible characters, and we already know that Jonathan Majors has it. He can bring it because he was in Magazine Dreams, that Sundance film where he is a bodybuilder. So we know
Mhm.
he's got the gains.
Oh,
He's got
yeah.
he's
Oh,
got
yeah.
the track. This man has it. So I kind of am hoping we get to see a little bit of the sexiness. We need to see that. They got Michelle Pfeiffer. She's a sexy woman.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
absolutely.
I think that
Absolutely.
if we get to have a little bit more sex, a little sex appeal to the story too, couldn't hurt. In this case with Quantumania, the Flash, you could feel that sex appeal, especially when Michael Keaton showed up,
Mhm.
because we all know, he's kind of the man, and
Yeah, he is my favorite Batman, Michael Keaton. He is my favorite. Ben Affleck is second, but Michael Keaton, okay, outside of Adam West, all right? We shouldn't even he's untouchable. He's untouchable, but down from Adam West, Michael Keaton's a goat.
yeah, and I'm expecting. So I do have this expectation of Jonathan Majors, as hot as he is, as stacked as he is.
Mhm.
He's the one, and I'm not saying the other gentlemen aren't fit as well, but he's someone who I know is fit because we saw the clips from that film where he's this bodybuilder, and we know he has the gains. He can bring this, and I also want to see that if he is supposed to be, as you said, this, as both of us are expecting, for him to kind of turn this on us, where everybody's kind of, at least this is how I'm interpreting this. People
Mhm.
are trusting him, and then they realize that he's not trustworthy, this villain, and that's how I have a
Mhm.
feeling it'll be, because the way he's presented, even in the trailer, is a little different from how I would expect a typical villain to be presented. So they did the same thing with Namor, where Namor kind of like was very matter of fact, just showing up in the middle of the night. And I'm
Mhm.
like, hey, the guy shows up in the middle of the night. Usually it's a booty call. But, I'm just saying, why is he showing up in the middle of the night in this clip that they released for Wakanda Forever?
Mhm.
And of course, it was not about that, but it was just very funny. You're going to show up in the middle of the night. It's like, wouldn't you show up during normal business hours? But anyway, look.
Well,
Let's see what happens with this ensemble. I want to see that chemistry, Lorena, that I
mhm.
felt in the Flash trailer, in the Quantumania movie. I want to see that chemistry. I want that to all come back. You said that you mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy, another group that has incredible chemistry. You can
Mhm.
feel that chemistry. And I want to feel that here with Quantumania. I hope they pull that off at the very least, Lorena, where we get that chemistry for the ensemble, because it's presented as an ensemble now. It's a huge group of people who are there.
Right.
Let's hope it has that. And Jonathan Majors can play off of that and be a badass in this, and give us that badass character that we're looking for. So we're like, oh my God, like I want to come out and say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. If that can happen, I will be very happy. And if they want to throw in, some sexy shots of Jonathan Majors, I'll be happy too.
Mhm.
Well, but only time can tell, everybody. I know 48 of you who are in the chat. This is truly a very interesting week. We're going to find out. Of course, we're going to talk about Quantumania next week, Lorena, after having
Mhm.
seen the film. And I hope they turn me. I hope I'm come back here and I'm saying, oh my God. And you're like, oh my God. And we're both like, oh my, So I'm just praying. I have confidence they could do it too. It's not about ability. I'm confident they could do it and do this for us. It's just that trailer that the trailer was not didn't grab me the way that the Flash trailer grabbed me. And Tom Jr. Jackson, you were right. You were like, you're gonna love the trailer, and I'm like, okay. And Tom, I love it. I love it, Tom.
Yeah, it's I wanna like it.
Hmm.
I hope it does well. But we're coming off of MCU Phase 4, which, for lack of a better term, was a traffic accident.
Hmm.
And the writer for Quantumania, his biggest credit is writing for Rick and Morty. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope that they have learned the lessons from what happened with Phase 4 and Phase 5 comes out with a bang, because if it doesn't, it's going to be a waste of Jonathan Majors' talent. Although, yeah, he got that check, but I'm just, I'm just saying, you hate it. You hate to see when the movie is just not that great, but the actors are great in it, and you just feel bad for them for the material that they've gotten. So we will see with what happens with Quantum Mania.
Yeah, and you make a good point, Lorena. Obviously, so it is true that I am a fan of the story, but I have the female gaze, guys. So I'm looking at
Oh
these
yes, I'm
men,
looking at, yeah.
Paul Rudd really is one of the main reasons why I was very attracted and excited about the film, because he's so hot, and I
Yep.
think he's very attractive. He's fun. I really like him, as you do as well. So it is true. This is Ladies of the PGS. We're looking at the men here, and we want to see them have that toxic male parts of them, Lorena, that we enjoy. We want to see them saving the day. We want to see them being masculine. We want to see them fighting. We want to see
Absolutely.
all those cool things that we're expecting to see in a superhero film. Bring it on. We want to see it all, you
We're
know.
waiting.
We are waiting, Lorena, with bated breath. But I have to tell you now we're going to switch over to the last topic for the night. And of course, we cannot not talk about, after this is really the first time we're on the air live talking about the game that I believe and you believe is going to be the game of the year if it isn't already the game of the year, and that is Hogwarts Legacy. Lorena, I honestly, this I can't even say enough about the game. We did a review, like after playing for a few days. Now
Hmm.
it's been almost a week of where we've been playing this game, and I think that for the most part, it's undeniably a Wizarding World game that's filled with adventure, that's filled with experiences, that's filled with wonder, that's filled with spells, that's filled with building relationships in some cases, that's
Hmm.
filled with imagination. It's also filled with skill. Now, I admit that I am playing on the easiest level. Of course, I'm playing on the easiest level because you guys don't want to be stuck there while I'm just staying on the same screen for 5 or 6 days. But
Hmm.
Lorena, even on the easiest level, there are challenges. You learn so much about the lore of this incredible, incredible IP, the Wizarding World. Lorena, this is a shot of what happens in the game. So many of you who have been hearing about Hogwarts Legacy, it is a very successful game. And it hasn't even been released on all platforms yet, right, Lorena?
That is correct. It has only been released on the PC and the PS5, and I believe Xbox Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken, PS4, and why am I blanking on who else is going to be? But definitely PS4 is going to be released, and I believe it's in April. And if you're on the Switch, you have to wait until July.
Yeah, and Lorena, to be honest with you, I understand that they have this tiered release, which is fine. That's great, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with these tiered releases because everybody's getting it in the same year. And so it would be different if they were like, well, you're not going to get it till 2000 and whatever, and you would say, what? You can't do that to me. But yeah, let's see. Oh yes, Lorena, do you have a clip that you would like to show us in regards to Hogwarts Legacy right now?
I definitely will. It is actually my guilty pleasure. Total guilty pleasure. I won't bore you all with the audio, but this game has to have the most amazing character creator that I've ever seen. I could literally spend I don't know how many hours using all the options to come up with my avatar, but you know what? I really wanted to like play the game, so I didn't spend as much time as I could have. But it's just kind of an example. This is my avatar. This is exactly what the rendering looks like for my avatar in the game. It's so realistic with so many face shapes, skin tones, hair types. eye types, whether you want glasses or not, whether you want scars or not. I mean, I am so impressed, especially when it comes to creating different ethnicities in this game. The only ding that I have is I wanted the really, really crazy curly hair, but they wouldn't give it to me in blonde, so I had to go. I had to go. I had to go with the.
You
I
had
had
to
to
go
go
with the
with this
Demi
one.
wave.
Yeah, so it's like there's the Luna Lovegood hair. I wanted that. I
Yes.
wanted the previous one, but
Yes.
it didn't come in blonde. But so many people have said how much they just love going this uh in this creator, and just I mean, you can have more than one. Like, I'm playing it on story mode just like you are right now for
Mhm.
purposes of streaming. When
Yeah.
I go back when I go back and I play it on a more setting, because I know that's where I'm gonna go with it. You can pick a different character. So I'm looking forward to creating a different character. In order to do this, it's something special about taking a replica of yourself into this particular world. Who hasn't pictured themselves, at Hogwarts, watching the movies, or even playing the Lego game, you know, the Lego Harry Potter game. Who hasn't done that? And I've seen so many people talk about how blown away they are with this game. It's just, I'm telling you, I'm falling behind in the game because I'm spending so much time looking around at things. Especially, I mean, both you and I got sorted in the Slytherin, so being in the Slytherin common room and all of just the underwater marine elements that are there. Going further on into Hogwarts Castle, you see the portraits, because the portraits are always moving, doing something. You've got, the ghosts that are flying by you when you're trying to get to class. And it's just, in the world, how it's rendered is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Lorena, I have to be honest with you. There we did have great expectations for this game going forward because of what this entails. The idea that they were going to recreate a game where you could become a student at Hogwarts. You are a student there. You attend Hogwarts. You get the owl. The owl brings you the letter, and
Hmm.
have been accepted into Hogwarts School of Magic, and you go, you end up going, you have adventures along the way. And it is just unbelievable. Both you and I are playing this game, Lorena, on our channels, and it's so enjoyable. They have created the most incredible looking Hogwarts that I've ever seen. And I have a feeling, and I kind of had joked around with you about this, that I firmly believe that all these enchantments, it's an interactive castle. So
Yes.
everything that's around you interacts with you. You can figure out and get information as you explore. They give you clues so you know where you are and what's going on and why it's important. Just like I would imagine in when you're reading, or when Harry is in the movies and people are telling him, well, you've never heard of that, well, here it is, and here's the information. And it
Hmm.
feels very similar as if you were Harry going into Hogwarts. You know nothing. Now all of a sudden you're at Hogwarts. How do you learn about everything? Well, this must have been the experience that Harry had how it must have felt for him. At least I imagine it probably felt like this for Harry when he went into Hogwarts and had to learn everything from scratch. And you get to be that person. You do get sorted. I got sorted into Slytherin, thank God, because I was like, nah, it's got to be Slytherin. Um, but that you're right. I was looking for a picture of the Slytherin common room in the game, and Lorena, what they've done, what they've achieved in this game is quite remarkable because not only does it look exactly like Hogwarts, but it feels like Hogwarts. You feel like you are in Hogwarts. It's completely immersive in a way that I didn't know. I mean, I've played a lot of video games, Lorena, in my lifetime, and so have you, but I
Mhm.
was not expecting this level of immersion that they're doing. What they've accomplished here is complete immersion. You can't be any more immersed in this. I think VR would be the only way you could be more immersed in this. There's so much to discover. There's so many layers. You know, you can walk through and be level a certain level, and you discover what you can. And then as you increase in level, there's even more layers upon layers of things that you can discover. And it's just remarkable. For me, and you and I had talked about this, the gameplay has been pretty smooth on the PS5. And I'm very happy with that, because we all know that when games first come out, what happens, sometimes they have to send patches, and things don't work, and your head is over here but your body's over there, that whole situation. And I haven't had an experience like that, Lorraine, nor have I gotten like moving to a certain area of the game and then I can't escape. None of that has happened. I also think, Lorena, knowing the type of personality that I have when I play a game, I like to take my time. I'm an easy gamer, like, kind of like Phil Collins, easy lover. Well, I'm an easy gamer. I'm an easy gamer. I kind of really, I just go really kind of, go with the flow with it all. And it takes me time to figure out stuff. And I'm not ashamed to know that it's going to do that. Now, Lorena, you do have more gameplay to show us. Um,
I do. I
Excellent.
do, and I'll kind of, like, share that, and folks can kind of, like,
Yes,
look around a
yes.
little bit. So, well, it was fun. Hang on. Okay. Okay. So, this is the Slytherin, we're in the Slytherin wing.
Yes, yes.
So this is the welcome to Hogwarts portion of the game. So I already had my profile set up at Wizarding World. So I had that connected to my WB Games account. So as soon as I got into the sorting ceremony, I got sorted into Slytherin. But you could change it if you wanted to, but why should you? So next day, I'm here, and just the rendering. It's the 1800s. They've got late 1800s style beds with with the curtains and all the other stuff that they have there. The brazier in the middle, and this is down in the Slytherin common room. I hate it when mine serves like that.
Oh, I love
So
this. Yeah, it's so good looking. I love this game so much.
I love that it's like underwater.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It feels like you're in a movie. It feels like you are living this life there in Hogwarts. And another thing that's great is that they do keep you busy with a lot of things to do. There really isn't any real downtime. I mean, it's possible for you to step away from the game and not do anything. It is possible. But
Mhm.
if you wanted to be completely immersed and have activities 24/7, you can. And it's like you'll never get bored in this place. And it's open world. And Lorena, you and I were talking about Quidditch, and a lot of people want that Quidditch to be there. And Lorena, I believe this, and I don't know how you feel about this, but when you're on the grounds and they have the Quidditch pitch, they're telling you right there that the pitch is there. It will be used. So I don't think people should worry too much about the fact that just initially, as you were just starting out, they're not going to do Quidditch right now. But I
Mhm.
have a feeling, Lorraine, we're going to be in for a treat with it, because they wouldn't show us the pitch in such detail if they didn't expect us to use it. What do you think?
Absolutely. Here's what I think, and they explain about what's going on with Quidditch in the game. I honestly believe, and this is just me, that if I'm thinking if, or maybe it's when, they include multiplayer, that's when they'll drop Quidditch. Because how cool would it be to be able to have you and your squad challenge others on the Quidditch pitch? I mean, they're probably waiting to do that right, because Quidditch is so essential to the Harry Potter lore. So they have got to launch that right. I dare say having Quidditch launched the right way is just as important as this game getting launched the right way. So disappointing that we don't have Quidditch, but I would really rather they get that right.
Exactly, Lorena. And however, they do have elements that we would expect at Hogwarts. For example, there is the potions classroom. There is the oh dear, um, the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom.
Yeah.
There is the forbidden section in the library, and many, many more elements that you would expect to see in Hogwarts. It matches what the movies look like, so it's easily recognizable. We've never gotten this much detail before in a game, Lorena, and it feels so good to be able to play in an environment like this. And you had said it was made by, is it Real Engine? Um,
It's made by Avalanche Software Development Studio for Portkey Games. The graphics engine that is used is Unreal Engine 5. The vendors of Unreal Engine is Epic Games, also known for Fortnite. And I do believe John Ware Jr. is in the chat, so I do believe he's done some work with Unreal Engine. But it's insane how good this is.
it's really some of the best rendering I've ever seen. I think that they took so much time and care into this with so many levels. This might be one of the best games I've ever played. I mean, I have other games that I do enjoy as well, like some, but this is for a game that anyone can play, and we're talking any age level. I believe any age level a person could play this game. It is very exciting to finally get this. And I feel like we've kind of been waiting for a game like this for a while, Lorena, where we could just kind of enjoy ourselves and have these adventures. And of course, guys, you can play, when you decide to play this game, you can pick from the 5 different levels and have a much more challenging game than what I'm doing. I know my game challenge is not that challenging, but I wanted to, and I have a feeling you feel the same way, Lorena. I wanted to be able to walk around and really experience this environment for the first time, almost as if I was a student there myself. I mean, it feels like you are enrolled, and it feels like you have to do these accomplishments, and the teachers are waiting for you to finish these accomplishments. They have great
Mhm,
backstories to all the professors. They have
mhm.
fantastic places where yes, it is one of the greatest video games ever made. Superhero movies are the best movies. Yes, it is. And you
I
know,
had to smack the globe. I'm sorry. It's so I'm so glad they put that in there because
and
even as a kid in school,
yes,
that's something I always did. I was fascinated by looking at the globe and looking at the world, and just first thing you go to is you just spin it around to figure out where the heck it's gonna land.
absolutely, Lorena. And like what we were saying, it's so interactive, isn't it? And I wouldn't be
Mhm,
surprised, Lorena, that those globes come into play at some point in the game, because this is how they've designed this game. Everything has meaning, everything is important, everything
mhm,
is placed in a certain location for a reason. And there are very few games that do this. This is kind of like a superior game design. It's a game within a game within a game,
yes.
in a manner where they have to do it on different levels. Can you imagine the amount of energy and brain power it takes to even go through the notion of doing it on 5 different levels, Lorena? I think,
Mm,
and the other thing I want to say, and we've talked about this before, but I am so excited for the kids that are going to pick up this game for the first time, Lorena, and have this incredible experience of this game that's just remarkable. It's so much fun to play. It's you can leave your kid and they can play this game and they're fine. This isn't
mhm,
anything you have to worry about. They're going to learn a lot. It certainly is, encourages, as you had said before, learning, interactivity. The relationships that you build between yourself and the other characters are realistic. It's a school. Everybody there, is very inquisitive. And, I also think that the game promotes camaraderie, because a lot of times in these games you could just play and not interact with anyone, but they
mhm,
do kind of want you to have. There's one thing, it's called interrelationships or something relationship points. And I said,
mhm,
what? I'm like, what is this? And it's like they want you to interact with people. And I think it is kind of important to do those things and to have those activities. Even, let's say perhaps that's not what you're looking for in a game. They wanted you to have realistic interactions with people. And I think that was also very important, seeing that realism of how the other students might behave, is
mhm,
really wonderful. You can get clothes. You can go to Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade is that town that we
mhm,
know. And Lorena, I'm just fascinated with the detail even in there. And it's got hidden passages. It's got hidden treats hidden, gifts hidden, everything in this. There's so much to explore. I don't think a one person could get everything on the first try.
Mhm.
Maybe on the fifth or sixth try. I will be
Mhm.
playing this game over and over and over and over again. I can't say enough about it.
Yeah.
Um, I just, it's so enjoyable. It's just unbelievable what they've done with this. I mean, they've got to win game of the year for this, just from sheer
Mhm.
effort alone of what they've done, from sheer accomplishment of the importance of this game. We
Mhm.
haven't had a game like this in so long. Lorena, what are your last thoughts on this incredible game that you and I have been enjoying so much over the past week?
My last thoughts, and it's interesting that this part of the game is playing because there's something I'm supposed to be doing, but I was so fascinated with what that statue was, and then the snakes on the ball on the balustrade. I was looking at that. I think there's like one that's like a fireplace, but it looks like the mouth of a serpent. I'm like, Professor Weasley's gonna have to wait. I'm gonna take my time looking around. This game is there's just so much going on. I think I have a side quest now where I'm trying to solve what's going on with the missing portraits. And if you've watched the movies and read the books, when a portrait is missing, there's something wrong. And
Mhm.
even if you didn't see the movies, they caught you up. Like, portraits don't just disappear, on their own. So I'm walking around literally, like, right now I'm walking around, I'm looking for missing portraits, just in case. But all of those quests keep you looking around. Same thing with interrelationship types of quests. I forget the chick's name, but I think she's a Ravenclaw. Apparently she lost these like balls, where they weren't lost, her classmates hid them, because when you play the game with them and you lose, it squirts this stinky fluid on you. So I spent I don't know how long trying to find, these globes, but just going through the castle, these tapestries, some of these tapestries I've actually seen at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. Yes, because I'm looking at these tapestries like I've seen them before.
Well,
I've totally
everybody,
seen them before.
I do just want to say this. Go to Lorena Creel's channel, subscribe to it. You're going to see that she has streams of the game. Go to my channel, Positive Fandom, subscribe. You're going to see that I have streams of the game. Also, subscribe to Tom Jr. Jackson's channel, who is the moderator. Lorena and I can't say enough about this game because we've been enjoying it so much. And only have a few minutes left. Lorena, where can people find you?
Well, folks, of course, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. You can also find me on YouTube doing various videos and live streams, some which include my wing woman here as well.
Absolutely, everybody. Yes, I just looking for where is it? I had it just a few seconds ago. Your link. Guys, please do like and subscribe to Lorena Creel's channel. You will find me on her channel very often because we do a lot of shows together, including our Toxic Male Appreciation Show,
Mhm.
which airs on Thursdays at 5 p.m. You can find her here with me, obviously on the Burnett Network for Ladies of the PGS every Monday at 6 p.m. We are also doing The Last of Us live watch party for that show on Positive Fandom, my channel. We're going to be doing even more things. The BAFTAs are coming up soon. We're going to be doing a watch party for that. Right after this, we have a review that Lorena and I did, as well as the Retro Nerd Girl. Sorry, Dante from Screen Rant for Foxy Brown on Lorena's channel. So do
Yes.
go ahead and after you leave here, go over to Lorena's channel and check that out. Lorena, thank you so much for stopping by today. Guys, I know I'm not saying everything that I want to say, but it's always such a pleasure to stream with you. And today was such a great show talking about all these things coming up. So guys, please do check back to our respective channels. Like and subscribe to my channel. Like and subscribe. Oh, here it is. So like and subscribe to Lorena's channel here. It's in the chat. And also like and subscribe to my channel, Positive Fandom, and also to Tom Jr. Jackson's channel, the moderator extraordinaire. Tom, are there any other moderators? If so, tell them thank you for moderating today. Guys, so great seeing you all this week. And thank you for sharing all your comments and everything in the chat. And for everyone out there, no matter where you are in the galaxy, always remember to please be kind. Take care, guys.
Bye.